"You need to take off that necklace," the judge declared, his words reverberating with the cold formality typical of a courtroom. "Proper conduct is required in this space. Personal adornments not approved are forbidden." Ella Anderson remained motionless. She occupied a seat in row 3, maintaining an upright posture with her hands positioned peacefully on her thighs. Her attention focused on the young naval serviceman positioned at the front. Peterson was his name, a youth facing a traffic violation he lacked the means to pay. Ella had come to support him. What hung from her neck wasn't jewelry. A light blue fabric strip decorated with 13 white stars supported a golden 5-pointed star featuring an anchor in its middle, encircled by laurel leaves. This was the Medal of Honor. From his elevated wooden perch, Judge Harrington looked down. He pushed his spectacles into place, displaying clear irritation. "Did you not hear my instruction?" he insisted, tapping his gavel gently. "The court officer will provide assistance if needed." The court officer, a large man whose face showed both compassion and weariness, adjusted his stance. His eyes moved between the judge's commanding glare and the calm woman seated among the spectators. He began moving toward her but halted. Her tranquility caused him to hesitate. "Sir," Ella responded, her tone both clear and unwavering, "I have proper authorization." "Authorization granted by whom?" "Authority in this room belongs to me alone, and my decision is final. Remove it immediately or face removal and a contempt ruling." Peterson, the young sailor, turned to look at her, fear evident on his features. He understood her identity and how she'd helped him through the local veterans facility. He attempted to speak, but Ella subtly signaled him to remain silent. The judge pressed on, his volume increasing. "This court's dignity cannot be compromised. Citizens cannot appear as though they're dressed for a masquerade, displaying whatever baubles they choose." Bauble. The term fell heavily between them. Ella's self-control stayed perfect. She had confronted armed adversaries with weapons far more dangerous. This judge's small-minded abuse of power meant little to her. It simply left her disappointed. "Officer," the judge ordered, "confiscate that item and remove this woman from my court." The officer positioned himself in her row. "Please, ma'am," he said softly, his tone almost apologetic, "don't create complications." Ella looked into his eyes. She recognized his internal struggle, his embarrassment. "You're following orders. I comprehend that." She refused to rise or surrender the medal. She wouldn't be complicit in disrespecting it. "I declare you in contempt," the judge announced, bringing his gavel down forcefully. "Your flashy accessory will be retained as evidence." At his station nearby, David, the court clerk, felt perspiration forming on his brow. At 24, he was a former Marine. He recognized military insignia and decorations. He understood with absolute certainty what that light blue ribbon represented. He had studied it in manuals and heard its citations delivered by training instructors. This situation was deeply wrong. This violated something sacred. David's hands worked beneath his desk. He retrieved his phone and contacted his former Master Gunnery Sergeant, currently assigned to Naval Base Coronado. "Master Guns, this is David Cho," he said in hushed tones. "Apologies for the unexpected call, but something unbelievable is unfolding. A female veteran is here. The judge has found her in contempt. She's displaying the Medal of Honor. Judge Harrington keeps referring to it as jewelry. He just commanded the officer to seize it." Complete silence followed on the line. "Provide me the location and courtroom designation." Immediately, the communication ignited the command structure at Naval Base Coronado like spreading flames. Master Gunnery Sergeant Reyes proceeded directly to the base commander's senior aide. "Sir, we face a serious situation. A Medal of Honor holder is being charged with contempt by a civilian magistrate in the city. He's attempting to confiscate her medal." The captain's complexion turned ashen. The military apparatus activated with remarkable swiftness. Communication reached the commander of U.S. Pacific Fleet. The 4-star Admiral's assistant entered his private meeting space and positioned a message upside down before Admiral Thompson. He reviewed it once, then again. His diplomatic demeanor disappeared entirely. "Colleagues, please excuse me," he told the astonished representatives. "An urgent matter of national significance has just developed. Retrieve her complete record immediately," he directed, "and prepare my vehicle. Inform the base commander and Master Chief Reyes to join me at the courthouse in formal dress uniforms." Ella Anderson's military history appeared on a screen. Navy Cross, Silver Star, 3 Purple Hearts, and prominently displayed, her Medal of Honor Commendation. Admiral Thompson studied the photograph. He recognized that woman. He had commanded the naval group offshore during her unit's attack. He had personally initiated her award recommendation. Meanwhile, in Courtroom 4B, the substantial wooden doors opened with a firm, unmistakable sound. Standing in the entrance was Admiral Thompson. For silver stars gleamed on his immaculate white uniform. Beside him stood the base commander, a 2-star rear admiral. On his opposite side stood Master Gunnery Sergeant Reyes in Marine formal attire. Behind them, a quiet formation of officers and senior enlisted members occupied the doorway. They advanced with deliberate steps, their polished black footwear creating a gentle rhythmic pattern. The sound conveyed more menace than any yelling could. It was the sound of military authority arriving to defend one of its own. Everyone in the courtroom became motionless. Admiral Thompson's focus remained singular, his attention fixed solely on the woman in row 3. He proceeded directly past the barrier and positioned himself before her. Then Admiral Thompson performed an action that completely demolished whatever remained of Judge Harrington's power. He brought his heels together with a distinct click. He lifted his right arm in a salute so crisp and exact it appeared to slice through space. "Master Chief Petty Officer Anderson," the Admiral stated, his voice a steady, powerful tone. "Seeing you again is truly an honor." He then angled slightly toward the judge. "To clarify for this court," he started. "This is Master Chief Hospital Corpsman Ella Anderson, United States Navy, retired. The decoration she displays is the Medal of Honor, presented to her for remarkable bravery and courage at mortal risk far exceeding duty requirements. On October 17, 2012, during an enemy ambush in Afghanistan's Helmand River Valley, then Chief Petty Officer Anderson's unit faced overwhelming hostile gunfire. With 3 Marines severely injured in exposed positions, she abandoned her protected location without pause and rushed directly into the deadly zone. She used her own body as a shield for the 1st Marine while applying emergency treatment to his injured leg. Enemy fragments wounded her during this action. Disregarding her own trauma, she pulled that Marine to safety before returning into the gunfire for the 2nd. While providing medical care, she returned fire with her handgun. She went back a 3rd time and sustained another wound, this time from enemy gunfire hitting her shoulder. Even wounded, she treated all 3 severely injured casualties and declined extraction until each of her wounded brothers was safely aboard an evacuation helicopter. Her conduct directly preserved the lives of 4 United States Marines. He stopped speaking, allowing the gravity to permeate the shocked silence. "That bauble," the Admiral stated, his voice falling to a dangerously subdued pitch, "represents the supreme recognition our country can grant a military member. Not only is wearing it authorized, federal law actively encourages it. Your directive to seize it was not merely deeply offensive, it was an instruction to perform an illegal action." The judge's appearance had transformed from flushed crimson to a pale, unhealthy pallor. Ella gradually stood up, showing slight discomfort. She regarded the judge. "Sir," she said quietly yet firmly, "I honor this courtroom's procedures. I honor our legal system. Rules matter significantly. 3 decades of my existence were devoted to upholding them, but rules must be implemented with intelligence and comprehension. They shouldn't serve as instruments of uninformed authority. Don't weaken standards. Simply improve at identifying them when they stand before you." Judge Harrington offered stumbling apologies. He withdrew the contempt charge against Ella. He dismissed Peterson's traffic violation with a gesture of his unsteady hand. Admiral Thompson and his group created a protective formation around Ella, accompanying her out of the courtroom. During the following weeks, Judge Harrington received formal reprimand from the state's Judicial Oversight Committee. A new required educational program regarding veterans matters was established at the courthouse. Approximately 1 month afterward, Ella was purchasing groceries at the base commissary. A man dressed in regular clothes approached her tentatively. It was Harrington, without his judicial robes and elevated seat. He appeared diminished, more aged, profoundly exhausted. "Master Chief Anderson," he said softly, "I wish to apologize once more. No justification exists for my behavior. My lack of knowledge was extreme. My actions cannot be excused, yet I'm requesting your forgiveness regardless." Ella examined his expression. She detected sincere regret. "The past cannot be changed, Mr. Harrington," she replied steadily. "What's important is your future actions. I learned about the new educational program. That represents a positive beginning. My gratitude, Master Chief." "Thank you." He acknowledged her with a nod and departed. Ella observed his exit, then resumed her shopping. The confrontation had concluded. The instruction had been delivered, and perhaps, just perhaps, a tiny seed of awareness had taken root where previously only ignorance existed.